Hey, we're on to day 94. Did you see her? Too sneaky. All right, let's go on. Last lessons, we've been working on the surface area. We're going to see a lot of surface area stuff for the last few days, aren't we? So the triangular pyramid, the surface area. All right, so with a triangular pyramid, we have a triangular, right? And then we have the three triangles that come up, okay? So let's first start with the base, and then we'll find the faces. So the base, it looks like is 10. It looks like the height of that base is 7. So we'll go 1/2, 10 times 7, which is 35. So 35 inches squared for the base. Okay, let's go on to the faces. And that's these right here, isn't it? So this is 10. This is 14 is the height. And because they're triangles, we're going to 1/2 it, aren't we? 10 times 14, which is 5. And I'm going to take half of 14, which is 7. Give me 70. Okay. Now, there are 3 of these that are 70, aren't there? So we're going to times by 3 and get 210. The final step is to add the bases and the faces and get 245 inches squared. Oh, lateral area. Yes. Let's do lateral area. Did you remember that lateral means no base? So this is probably like a teepee or a sandcastle where there's no base to it. We just need to know the lateral faces. So I really only care about that right there, which is a triangle. So I'll go 1/2, 12 times 20.88. Half of 12 is 6 times 20.88. I'll do my best not to put the calculator straight in the middle of the screen this video. And I get 125.28. And then I got to remember that's not my final answer, is it? That is just that triangle right there. So I need to times it by 4. Oops, times by 4. And that gives me 501.12. That doesn't seem very pretty, but we started with a decimal that wasn't very pretty. So I guess we're good there. Inches squared. Okay. Another surface area. This time we have a triangular prism. So I'm going to first start with that triangle right there. There's my little 90-degree square. So I know that that and that are my base and height. That's 2 times 3 is 6. Now there's 2 of those, isn't there? I'm going to double that and get 12. So the 2 triangular bases are 12 square centimeters. Now let's work on getting the sides. And these are just rectangles. So we're just going to go base times height. 3 times 8 is 24. Okay. Then I kind of have this back rectangle right here. This right here is 5. This right here is 8. So go 5 times 8, which is 40. And then this last one is this flat piece right here. And that is, oh, guess what? I did this wrong. Okay, let's go back to that purple piece. That purple piece, that is actually 4. And the orange piece right here is actually 5, isn't it? So let's back up a little bit. The purple piece is 4. The orange piece is 5. Okay, so now I'm going to add up all of these areas, all of the areas from all the different kind of faces that you see, plus the bases. And that will give me 108 centimeters squared. Okay, now a couple of things that I want you to remember about that. Remember with the triangle, we use there's 3 numbers for a triangle, right? But you use the 2 smallest for your base and your height. Okay. The other thing that's really cool about triangular prisms is that there's going to be one number that you use over and over again. It's the 8 because it was 8 high that way, 8 right there, and 8 centimeters right there. So that's just a couple ways you can kind of check and see, okay, did I follow those guidelines? Surface area of a rectangular prism. So for these, we're going to remember that there's kind of a front and a back, right? There's also 2 sides, and there is a top and a bottom. And then if we add all those up, it'll give us a surface area of everything. So the front right here is 4 by the height looks like it is 1. So 4 times 1 is 4. You can remember that there are 2 of them because the front and the back. So I get 8. The sides right here are, that's 2, that's 1. So the sides are 2 times 1, which is 2, but there's 2 sides, aren't there? So we'll say that's 4. And if we look at the top ones are kind of the hardest ones because usually the top is not labeled very well. So that's why I usually look down here at the bottom. If I kind of draw that, you can kind of see, oh my goodness, that was not very good. You can kind of see the bottom part right there. You redraw that without getting all weird. There's our bottom right there. Okay, so if we look at that bottom piece right there, we can see that it's 4 and 2. So the bottom and the top are 4 times 2, which is 8. There's a top and a bottom, so I'm going to times it by 2 and get 16. And when I add up those 3 sides that are doubled, I get 8 and 4 and 16. I get 28 inches squared. Now here's the trick with these. There were 3 numbers, and all 3 numbers took a turn being times by each other. The 4 times with the 1, the 4 times with the 2, and then the 2 times with the 1, and the 1 times with the 4. So all 3 of them got a chance being times with each other. It's another way that you can kind of look at it and see. 5 lessons ago, we just have to name this figure and then draw the net. Okay, it's not a pyramid. And if I look, the 2 faces that are like completely facing each other, those are the bases, and those bases are triangles. So this is a triangular, and because it's not a pyramid, it is a prism. So triangular prisms, they have 2 triangular bases, and then that leaves them with needing 3 rectangles all around. So that's one way you could draw it. Another way you could look at it is triangular right there. There's triangle right there, and then another triangle coming out. Oh, if that makes sense to you, then go with that. All right, find the height. This was 10 lessons ago. Well, I'm going to start with the correct formula. This shape is a trapezoid. I know it's a trapezoid because those are parallel, but then those are not parallel. So if I only have one pair of parallel sides, but it's a quadrilateral, it's got 4 sides, then it's a trapezoid. So I'm going to use the formula area equals 1/2 base plus base times height. Okay, I know my area, it's 216. 1/2, the 2 bases are the ones that are parallel with each other. And then times by the height, it's the height that we don't know, so that stays in H. I'm going to do parentheses first. 36 is the 2 bases put together. So now I have this equation right here. I still need to figure out what H is. Okay, well, I'm going to take half of 36 and get 18. And now my equation is 216 equals 18 times H. So I need to figure out what to times with 18 that will give me 216. I'm going to work a little backwards. 216 divided by 18 gives me 12. So 12 centimeters is my height right there. Because it's a straight line, it's not squared, it's just the height. 15 lessons ago, we were graphing equations. The equation here is y equals 8x. How do I get an equation to a graph? I pull out a handy dandy XY chart and I start plugging numbers here on the x-axis in, so then I know what will pop out on the y-axis. So if 1 is x, then I'm going to plug the 1 right there. 80 times x is 80 times 1 is 80. Then I'm now going to plug in a 2 for that x. 80 times 2 is 160. Do the same with 3. And 3 times 80 is 240. So now I have at least 3 points on my coordinate plane. I have the point 180, 2 160, and 3 240. So here's 180, 2 160, 3 240, and I could continue on with that graph right there. 20 lessons ago, we were doing inequalities. Inequalities are like this. X is less than 0. I need 3 solutions. Solutions are answers. So what is less than 0? Well, -1 is less than 0. -3 is less than 0. I could even do like -0.2 is less than 0. There are an infinite amount of solutions for x being less than 0. The school bus weighs 1.5 tons. Complete the ratios to find the weight in pounds. Let me change that so you can see that part. Okay, do you remember setting it up like this where we did ratios? Here I've got tons, so I'm going to put tons down here. Those will end up canceling each other out, right? Leave me with just pounds. Now I need to create a conversion ratio right here that just equals 1, right? So what's bigger, a pound or a ton? A ton is bigger. And how many pounds are in a ton? There are 2,000 pounds in a ton. So now I can just multiply straight across 1.5 times 2,000 and I get 3,000. So the school bus weighs 3,000 pounds. John, Maya, did you still want to do this one? John has, I got to get rid of that. John has 5 dogs, 2 cats, and 3 goldfish for pets. Write the ratio of goldfish to total pets. Okay. Biggest takeaway from this lesson is to read carefully. I want goldfish and total pets. There's like a lot of different numbers here, but I only want to compare goldfish and pets. And I want it in the order goldfish first and then pets. So 3 is going to be first. There are 5 dogs, 2 cats, 3 goldfish. There are 10 total pets. If you do 10 to 3, that's incorrect. It wants goldfish first and then the total pets. I spent $54 on clothes. I gave the cashier $100. How much change will I get back? Oh, how do I solve this one? If I'm buying something, buying clothes, I give them money, they'll give some back, right? So it's a subtraction problem. So I need to go 100 subtract 54. I'm going to regroup right here and get 46. I will get $46 back. Booyah! There is your final product. How many were you able to do on your own? Hopefully all of them. See you tomorrow.